Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about just feeling triggered when manifesting a specific person. I have been seeing a couple of comments on my channel on how a lot of you, or like on how some of you could be feeling a little bit down, or like you're having a hard time letting go of the past, or when it comes to your SP, and how it's just like overall been a little bit hard for you. Maybe you're not seeing the movement that you want in the 3D side. I kind of wanted to make this an SP focused video, okay? Yeah, I didn't really have time to get ready and like, get on camera and talk about it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and like, use this card as my background. I'll go ahead and pick a couple of other cards too. Okay, so first of all, I just want to start off the video by saying your SP is always receiving your thoughts. You guys, it doesn't matter what is going on in the 3D. You have to stop caring about the 3D, paying attention to the 3D, tracking the 3D, tracking their following, see what's going on their Instagram. I would say even mute them. If you're followed on Instagram, mute them, mute their stories, mute their posts, okay? Until they reach out to you and until you get that full manifestation, you do not need to like care about what's going on, because think about it, when you get that full manifestation, then you will have shifted to that timeline where you're with them, where you trust them, where they're loyal, kind, caring, committed, respectful of you, right? And until you get that full commitment, until like they start showing up as that, what is the point of checking the 3D? Everything else is old news. It's literally the past. It doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. It's like checking the 3D is kind of similar to um checking last week's newspaper to figure out what's going on today, right? Because like last week's newspaper, yeah, even if it's related to the news today, it's not accurate as to what's actually happening today, right? So um there's really no point checking the 3D, especially if you're someone that gets triggered, okay? I'll see comments on like, oh my gosh, my SP, I realize, they've been talking to like multiple people and going on dates, this, that, you guys. It doesn't matter what they're doing, okay? That is just one reality. That is just one version of them. I really, really want you to understand and deeply internalize the fact that you can switch timelines. You can shift to a reality where they've never dated anyone but you. You really, really have to harness your, full manifestation capabilities. And one way to do that is by expanding your consciousness, okay? Realize that, okay, all these possibilities exist, and don't keep getting bogged down. I know it's we're human. It's okay to spiral sometimes. It's okay to feel down and sad. I know, I've been there, okay? But then I realized, like, okay, I can like turn things around, okay? If I created this, I can turn things around. And the other thing you have to understand is that your SP is only ever reflecting back you to you. You don't have to be like, mad at the 3D, annoyed at them, okay? Honestly, when you like kind of start thinking that way, you're like perpetuating this like victim mentality, like, oh, this happened to me, I can't believe they did this, I can't believe they did that, I'm so annoyed, okay? There's no point being a victim in your own reality, something that you created, obviously unconsciously, because no one wants to create bad things. But the thing is, if you created that, you can uncreate that at any given moment. And that is something you really, really have to understand. I am not even kidding when I say revision works like a charm, okay? This is what I really wanted to talk about. When you revise something, what happens is that you step into a reality, okay, a new timeline, where that thing that's triggering you, it never happened, okay? The past even changes. Like you step into a new timeline where they end up acting like completely different, the way that you want them to act. They reflect back all your affirmations to you. And let's say there was a third party, let's say your SP like got intimate with other people, or like started going on dates with other people. You will shift to a timeline where like that never happened, where like the past is completely different. They're gonna be like, oh, by the way, I was never actually dating someone, I just said that to kind of make you jealous. And like I've seen stories where that happens, where that happened, okay? And I believe it. I believe all the success stories that I see and read, because again, it's just something that I'm manifesting. And every single thing that exists, like even like yeah, every single thought that you have, it already exists. Like I do believe that we're drawing from the quantum field, aka the Akashic records. But anyways, I digress. But my point is, like, I have heard a story where you know, there was this like person who was trying to manifest her SP, and entire time she thought that he had a third party, and he would like post on his story and stuff. And then it turns out that like after he came back, he's just like, no, I was never actually dating her. I was actually doing that to make you jealous. Like, can you believe that? And that is true. That does happen. Like people do post on social media for attention, for clout, for reasons that you might like that aren't accurate to what's actually going on. Okay, I've seen people like post on social. I've heard stories where like people posted someone on their story, and it looked like oh my gosh, there's another girl on a story, or there's another guy on a story, and the entire time it ended up being their sister or cousin, because like they did a lot of stalking. They found their sister's Instagram, they reposted that, and it's like, you got, my point is like, don't believe the 3D. Okay, not only is social media an illusion and totally fake, but so is the 3D. The 3D and social media are kind of similar in a way if you think about it. Okay, it's completely curated, and anything that is not what you want to experience is, you do not have to accept it. In fact, I would say like, stop accepting it, stop reacting to that. Just be very neutral to it. Just be like, okay, in the way to neutralize, okay, I know a lot of you are wondering like, how do I even neutralize this? Figure out what within you caused that thing to happen. Figure out what pattern within you, caused that to like manifest in the 3D reality. What stream of thinking caused you to manifest that, okay? And like, say affirmations that counter that. For example, like, if you have this pattern of attracting third parties and feeling like you're in competition, okay, you have to say affirmations like, well, no, there is no competition. I'm the only one. There are no third parties. In fact, you're all the parties. Even if you think about it, the third party is you. If your SP is you, if everyone is you pushed out, then the third party is also you, right? Like, they're just representing a part of you that you have to, really address within yourself. And the way to do that is by saying, there is no competition. I am the only one. I always receive loyalty. I always receive commitment. I always receive monogamy. I always receive, it's easy for me to trust. It's so easy for, I feel natural trusting my partners. Trust has always come so easy to me. My partner gives me every reason for me to trust them, because trust, when I say there are people in good relationships, I wholeheartedly do believe in love, in good relationships. I know I give this example a lot, but I have a couple of friends that are married, okay, 3 friends, and I've like attended all of their weddings in the last couple of years or so. Guys, their relationships are solid. Like, they never have like any doubts on their partner. Like, loyalty, commitment, that's never been an issue for them. In fact, I don't even like, you know every time I meet them, they're like so in love with each other. Okay, like, I know like people think like, oh, every couple has their problems, this or that. Their problems have never been like loyalty, commitment, trust. Like, their problems have been like, oh, um I think like the worst problem that my best friend had, like with her husband, was that he wanted like a 2 bedroom apartment, and she's just like, wait, why? We don't need a 2 bedroom. Just 1 bedroom is enough. And like, I think max they like fought over that for like 5 minutes, and she's just like, wait, actually, yeah, that makes sense, because they had a dog, and yeah, that like that's the thing. Like, they're like a happy married couple that has a dog, and like the worst fight they had for like 5 minutes, and not even a fight, was that like, oh, like he wanted a bigger space for them and for her. Okay, like that's how like some relationships really are. Okay, yeah. So honestly, my point is like, love does exist. It is out there. Loyalty, commitment, trust, like all of that, it's available to you. Even if you've had like the worst experience in relationships and love in the past, it doesn't have to keep repeating. Actually, that same friend, I know I've given an example of her a couple times here. Like, that same friend got cheated on, okay, by her ex-boyfriend of like 4 years. Like, she's only ever been in serious relationships. Like, she's only ever attracted like men that like want to date her. Like, she like barely ever did casual flings, unless she was like coming out of a breakup. Like, pretty much every guy that she dated like fell in love with her or wanted to like date her for real, and wife her up, girlfriend her up. Okay, and like, she's amazing. Like, of course, like I see exactly why, but unfortunately, even she got cheated on by her very first boyfriend, the very first love of her life. And that like did affect her, and she was really sad about it. But now she's dating this amazing guy, this amazing man. Like, I've met him, and he is amazing. The things that he's done for her, like, since they started dating, I was there on their first date, and they've been married like 4 years now. I like attended their weddings. They had like a couple of like weddings, like like yeah, they're Indian, and like there's like a couple of weddings, like one wedding in India, one wedding for like their big family, one wedding for like a smaller group of friends. I was invited to, and I attended all of them. And like, I've given like speeches at their wedding. Like, they're such a beautiful, amazing couple. Like, from the first day, like, I knew them. Or like, from that first year they started dating, like, he hosted like a surprise like birthday party for her. He like coordinated her, like, she had this like dance event at her college, and he like coordinated the entire friend group to show up. And like, he does everything for her. Honestly, he treats her like a freaking princess, and he still does 4 years into the marriage. So yeah, sorry, I know that was quite a bit of a tangent there, but my point is like, love really does exist. There are people out there that are really like, that are readily available to give you what you want, okay, in the way that you want. And actually, with this guy, okay, so it's kind of funny. I think like he did have a past of like kind of just like casually dating around, I'll just say that, but he changed for her. okay? Like something within her activated that within him, and he's just like, I want to do everything for this woman, okay? Like my friend's self-concept has been pretty high, like she's had pretty high standards. And here's the thing, like, yeah, she has been hurt at times, she has made bad decisions in the past, but eventually she got that love. Eventually, she got into this beautiful relationship where she can fully trust her guy, and her guy does everything, like her man's does everything for her, even like 4 years in, like the romance is still there. I can see how much they love each other when I'm there. I can like feel that in their presence, okay? And like again, they both had like like different paths than what they're experiencing now. Now they're both in a happy, healthy, committed, loving, monogamous relationship where they deeply trust each other so much, okay? And yeah, that's possible with your SP too. Your SP can change like overnight. They really can. It's just a matter of you like affirming that, you activate that within them. You activate that version of them that wants to be with you, commits to you, is loyal to you, okay? Something I really like saying, like, being with me is magical. I am extremely magical. I am unique. Anyone would be lucky to be with me. No one compares to me. I'm irresistible. I'm irreplaceable. There is no competition. I'm the best option. I'm the only option. I'm the only one that they've ever dated, okay? I'm not even kidding. When you say that, they're not going to remember dating any of their exes. They won't even remember their name. Like, who? Like, even for me, like, there's some guys that I have like really, really, really liked that like I kind of forgot that I dated other people before them. I'm just like, I don't even think I've been in love before, I met this guy. Like, yeah, it's like maybe like I'll have like a distant memory of them, but there have been some certain people that have like, changed the course of like, dating and love for me. And I'm just like, if I can experience this, like, they can as well. And I've seen stories, I've seen success stories again of, people just affirming that, like, yeah, no matter who they're with, no matter what they're doing, they're always thinking about me. They've always stayed thinking about me, okay? And that really, really does work, okay? I've heard countless stories, countless success stories of like, SPs coming back and saying they never stopped thinking about them, not even for a day. They could have like dated other people, but when they dated other people, they were looking for, the person who was manifesting in them. Like, oh, I always looked for you in other people. No one just compared. No one even came close, okay? Like they will like actually reflect that back to you verbatim. That's even something to say. No one even comes close to me, and no one comes close to like, giving them like, just, yeah, no one comes close to me, no one compares to me, okay? My love is unparalleled. The way that they feel for me is unparalleled, okay? They're never gonna feel that way for anyone, because I'm obviously the best, because they are you pushed out, okay? They are literally you. You're not manipulating them, you're just selecting a different version of them, okay? And like stepping into a different timeline, uh which again, like when you step into a different timeline, when you become the best version of yourself, when you work on self-concept enough, and when you realize that, like, yeah, there is no one like me. I don't care if like, Miss World, Miss Universe, Mr. World, Brad Pitt, young Brad Pitt, whatever, appears, like they're still gonna choose me each and every single time, okay? That is how confident you have to be in yourself, and in your like, just, yeah, just yourself. And like, you have to understand that, like, at the end of the day, it really is just energy. It does not matter if there's someone out there that might be, maybe more conventionally attractive, smarter, earns more money. Okay, at the end of the day, like, you have to affirm that they choose you despite that. Like, I am chosen no matter what. I am prioritized no matter what. And I've seen that happen, you guys. Okay, like, I've like seen, okay, I know, like I have a couple of male clients that come to me and they're just like, okay, well, I don't know if she'll even like me because like I'm not really where I want to be in my career life or money wise. You guys, I have seen women that are literally like, that whose boyfriends are in prison, who have like prison boyfriends, who send like messages to like, again, like their boyfriend in prison, and like the boyfriend in prison requests them for money and they give it happily. I've seen women that are with like, loser, like broke, like bums, okay? I know that sounds so bad, but like I'm getting to a point, I swear, that like the woman will pay for their rent, the woman will do whatever for them, okay? Because of something that they're offering, the energy, like, the feeling that they get, okay? And listen, I'm not trying to bring anyone down. I'm saying this because literally you have to believe in yourself, okay? You have to understand that, like, it doesn't matter how much money you have, how tall you are, how attractive you are, okay? Just, you can and still win, the affection of whoever you're trying to win that affection from. As long as you're confident in yourself, as long as you tell yourself, I am lovable, I'm chosen no matter what, I am loved exactly as I am, okay? And a lot of like, my clients, like they're good people. I can see they're trying to really improve their life. Like if you're into this kind of stuff, like you're not a bum, you're not a loser, like you're genuinely actively trying to like, become the best version of yourself. But like you have to understand that you're worthy of love no matter what, okay? No matter whatever superficial, materialistic like things out there that you have or don't have, okay? Yeah, I just gave that example because at the end of the day, it really, really doesn't matter. And like, yeah, even with like, women, like there are women who have dated men who, have been loyal to them regardless. Okay. Like I know in society, again, this is just like a construct that like we manifested, right? In society, like they say like, oh, we care a lot about women's looks, this, that. So I know there was one Australian model who unfortunately like her face got like burned off or something, or like her face like got completely rearranged because of some like accident, and her husband's like still with her. Her husband's like, she's still like the most beautiful woman I have ever seen, and like he stayed with her, like like as far as I know, like he never like sought out other women. And then you see like the most attractive woman, getting cheated on, like Beyonce, all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, looks, like money, all that superficial stuff doesn't matter. It really is your confidence in yourself, okay? And also like I was just giving these examples to give an example, but we have to completely erase these like constructs out of our mind, okay? It's never about looks, money, anything else. It's about the feeling you give them. It's about the feeling you feel about yourself. It's about your self-concept. It's about your assumptions about them, love, relationships, life, okay? That's why I always say like, you don't have to do anything to like get anything in the 3D. You don't have to post like, like a bunch of like, cute selfies for them to get your attention. They already know you're beautiful. They already know you're handsome. They already know that like, you're top tier, that anyone would be lucky to be with you, okay? They feel for you very like deeply and intensely. It is never about like, any of like that superficial materialistic stuff, unless you affirm it is, unless you've created the belief that like, or like, you've internalized the belief that like, oh, men only go after like, the most attractive women, women only go after men that are of a certain height or make this much amount of money or whatever, okay? So that's like, that's in your belief system, and at the end of the day, you have to really take a step back and look at what you're believing, look at what you're internalizing, okay? And realize that you can change that at any given moment by just saying, no, I am loved the way that I am. I deserve to be loved the way that I am. I'm so secure and confident within myself, okay? Yeah. And I always receive loyalty. I always receive commitment. Anyone would be lucky to be with me. No one compares to me. I'm irreplaceable. I'm irresistible. I'm magnetic. No matter who they're with, no matter what they're doing, they're always thinking about me. I like recently heard a success story of one of this like from this one TikTok coach. I think her name's Courtney. Yeah, and like, yeah, she's like a self concept manifestation coach. I really love her content. Honestly, every single video of her like really boosts me. And I highly recommend following her on TikTok. I think, yeah, Courtney self concept mentor. If you just like look that up, um, yeah, you'll find her. But basically, she talked about how she saw her husband on a dating app. They were separated. Okay. And she, by the way, spoiler alert, she was able to manifest her husband back. She saw her husband on a dating app and she just didn't respond because she knew that, like, he would come back to her no matter what. She's just like, no. Every single, like, woman or that, like, he went on a date with, he's going to find weird. Every single person that he dates just makes him miss me more. And she said that he came back and reflected that to her verbatim. Yeah, like some of these people on dating apps were weird. Every single person I met made me miss you even more. Okay. And he deleted the app too. He deleted the app too. That was also like, something she was affirming for. Like, oh, he deleted the app. And he actually did. He actually did. And he said like all the, like he reflected that back verbatim. But she did work a lot on self concept and non-reaction, and I know she talks a lot about like emotional regulation, which I also think is really important. Okay, if you're feeling down, sad, triggered, take some time to process the feeling, okay? But then also like, get back up, okay? Emotionally regulate. It's okay to like spiral here and there, but like, pick yourself up from the spiral. Better yet, like if you find yourself spiraling and thinking these negative thoughts, cut them off halfway. Like be like, no, no, I don't accept this, I don't accept this. And like that thought will go away. Like I know for a lot of you, like I think it's like a collective experience that we don't really like math, and like some math concepts are hard. I don't really remember a lot of what I learned in these math classes, right? Because I don't actively practice it. I'm not looking at math equations all day and I have no memory. Like, honestly, even if you ask me like certain formulas of like, shapes and stuff, like I couldn't tell you because, I don't practice it. And that's how it's going to be like for you. Like, do you remember like, what you learned in like 11th grade science? Like, do you remember every single thing, the curriculum or, that calculus class that you took in college or that quantum physics class? No, right? If you're not like, actively studying it now, that's what's going to happen with your negative thoughts. You're not even going to like think of those thoughts. Those thoughts are going to be like lost math equations that, just like will not come to your brain no matter what, unless you look at them. Like, they're like, you will literally like change your perception and memory of the thing that happened, as long as you're able to cut them off and not give them too much attention. Okay. Like, yeah, like you just won't, you'll change your perception of what happened in the past. Those thoughts won't keep coming up. Even if they come up, it's just going to be like a very neutral thought. Okay. But like, you'll have no memory of it, or like, your memory of it will be changed for the better. And you'll be like, oh, okay, this isn't really that bad. It's not that triggering because I know I created it. But I've done so much self-concept work on myself and practice, which helped me practice non-reaction more effectively, that I'm no longer triggered by this, and that, just like does not affect me anymore. I choose to have this not affect me. Okay. I really, really like this one line that I got from the Silva mind control method. Negative thoughts have no power over me over any level of mind. Let me say that again. Negative thoughts have no power over me at any level of mind. Okay. Little game changer. And I also like this one affirmation from that I got from Nea's channel. I am unmoved by appearances, and therefore appearances shift in my favor. I am unmoved by appearances, and therefore appearances shift in my favor. Okay, try to say these things when you're triggered, and it will change the game for you. Okay. Wow, I was a little bit all over the place in this video. I kind of am in a lot of the videos. My videos are literally just like spirit, like just like dumps of information. Okay, just a lot of like downloads that I get. Okay, but let's talk about this card real quick. I take joy and beauty in the magic I see everywhere. Why don't you become the joy and beauty and the magic that people see everywhere? I am magical. I am beautiful. People take joy being in my presence. I really like that. Like, being with me is magical. Like, talking to me is like being like hypnotized. I'm hypnotizing, captivating. I'm craved over. I'm obsessed over. I'm worshipped. Okay. Just talking to me is entrancing. Talking to me is like being in like a perpetual trance. There's like certain people that I hear talk and I'm just like, wow, music to my ears. I really like, Selling OC, like that series. And I really, really like the character Alexandra Jarvis. Like, every time she talks, every time something comes out of her mouth, I'm just like, wow, like, thank you for blessing us with like, your voice. Like, she's just so smart and well spoken and savage and classy. And, like, think of like someone that you really like hearing talk to, like, like the best motivational speaker, or like even like a song, like a music that you really enjoy. Literally tell yourself, like, I am a siren. Talking to me is like listening to like the most addicting song ever. Like, how there's like certain songs you replay again and again. I am that song on their playlist that they replay again and again. I know that's poetic, and that's an affirmation that I just like came up with right now, but like, I think I'm gonna write that down. I'm their favorite song. Like, I'm like the most addictive song ever. They keep, replaying me again and again. Like, not playing as in that sense. Okay, so make that very clear. But like, yeah, like, I'm the best song on their playlist. I'm the like, sun that shines in the morning, like in their room. Okay. Yeah, don't be like afraid to like, really dramatize your affirmations as much as possible. And yeah, I noticed like a lot of like people fall in love with poetic people because, like, they have like a really unique way of thinking. Like, oh yeah, they're the, like I mentioned, like, they're the sun that shines in my room. They're like the soft, like, droplets of like water on, or like, yeah, water on my skin after like a drought, or like, they're like that warm breeze after like, but going through months of cold. They're like that first, um you know they're like that first snowfall. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm not that poetic. I need to get better at that. But why don't you replace that to you? Like, I am like the touch of a snowflake or something. Like, honestly, I'm in New York and it doesn't snow here that much, at least not in Manhattan. But whenever I see snow, like, something just like clicks in my brain. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like the amount of like, serotonin that gets like released. I'm like, I love this so much. I just love seeing snow, and especially like, like white Christmases, seeing it cover the entire town. Like, like the like amusement I get when seeing that. Like, pretend that's how your person feels when they see you. Anything that amuses you in life personally, pretend that is how you are being perceived in the eyes of your person. Okay. Like even like nature, a lot of people are awed by nature. I travel a lot to like Central American countries, the Caribbean. I see so much lush nature and greenery. It blows my mind every time. And I just tell myself like I am that lush greenery. I am like, the first step into the Central American countries. I know when I went to Costa Rica, that was like the best country. Like that was like, honestly, I love all the countries, but that was like one of the most memorable trips. Like every single minute of that trip was just amazing. And I'm just like, like that feeling, like I like look back at my pictures to revive that feeling, and I'm just like, that was like, again, my first taste into like Central America, and it was like so memorable. So yeah, just like like describe yourself as the things that you really like experiencing. Okay, I really like, I'm memorable, I'm unforgettable, I'm craved over, I'm obsessed over, I'm hypnotizing, I'm captivating, I'm mesmerizing. Okay. But anyways, I will go ahead and end the video right here. I'm sorry, this was a lot of talking and I was so all over the place, like more than other videos, but I really do hope that it helped. And I do want to let you know there is a manifestation challenge going on my Patreon, where we get together as a group and collectively manifest. And when we collectively manifest, that amplifies the potency of our individual manifestations, because at this point multiple people are putting their minds to the same thing, and it also accelerates your manifestations. And yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, then check out the description box below, where you will find the link to my Patreon. And I also offer in-depth pair readings as well as manifestation coaching, and I also custom make Subliminal. So if you're interested in any of these services, again, check out the description box below, where you will find my website. You can sign up for those services through my website. And yeah, I will end the video right here. Happy manifesting.